But first, let me introduce to you Professor Prathibha Mahanamahewa, and he will be presenting on the legal and policy framework of child marriages. Professor Mahanamahewa holds a doctorate, master's, and bachelor's degree in law from the universities of Australia and Sri Lanka, an attorney at law in Sri Lanka's Supreme Court. He was a senior lecturer and former Human Rights Commissioner. He represented Sri Lanka at the 39th UNHRC session in Geneva. Professor, could we have you on stage, please? And in the interest of time, I'm going to now hand over to Professor Prathibha to please continue with his first presentation to us.
Very good evening. I am going to present today the legal and policy framework of child marriage. This is basically, I will start with the international scenario and then I will come to few countries I am going to explain in my study. So if you see, girls are not brides. They are not commodity. They have every right as a human being. Hannah Gottfried, 17, UNICEF National Ambassador to Ethiopia. What a great statement is that. We have the global framework, 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Article 16, they say full age needed for marriage, as well as forced marriages, slavery, all are banned. So likewise, 1656 Supplementary Convention on Abolition of Slavery and Slave Trade Institution, as well as practice similar to slavery, child marriages are banned. Likewise, 1962 Convention for the Consent of Marriage, Civil and Political Right Convention. This is very important. CEDAW, discrimination against women, and Convention for the Rights of Child, and latest one 2004 Declaration of Elimination of Violence Against Women and Elimination of Violence Against Children, Asia. So we are talking about SDG, as the presenter said, 2030 we have to achieve. So target 5.3, very important, eliminate all harmful practices as a child and all forced marriage, a female. So that means we have a target now. We have an objective. With that, we have to reach it. If you see, basically, the state obligation is there for every state. There are 193 UN member countries, all member countries. We are giving a pledge. Eliminate the practice of child marriage. Even today, there was a child marriage in Anuradhapura. Later, I will discuss that, right? So therefore, boys with or without parent consent at 18 years, that is, under any circumstance, it has to be prohibited. So CEDAW and CRC committees which met has recently reiterated the clarified state obligation, eliminate harmful practices in Sri Lanka. If you see divisional secretaries, grammar sevakas, whether they are having that idea, that's the biggest problem. UNFP, UNICEF, they have 2016 together with UNFPA launched a global program to tackle child marriage in 12 of the most high prevalence countries, including Bangladesh and Ethiopia, Ghana, India, Mozambique, Nepal, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Uganda, Yemen, Zambia. Luckily, Sri Lanka, we are not in this list. And regional framework is there. That is 1990 African Charter of the Rights of Welfare of Children. That is Article 21. Child marriage and brothels are prohibited. Forget about brothels. Child marriages are prohibited. And laws are there. They have come up. Great Nelson Mandela, immediately after his release, the world best constitution at the moment, 1996, South African constitution, which really protecting child rights. And also European Union, the European Convention on Human Rights, prohibition of child marriages and child protection. SARC, we are in the SARC countries. Do you know there is a charter? In that Convention on Regional Arrangement, the promotion of child welfare in South Asia, a profile of child marriage South Asia. I don't know SARC, when did they meet last, but no news at the moment. So selected countries, Thailand, we are talking about Thailand. There are no legislation to address minimum age of marriage, but 2019 they had a Nairobi summit. They decided reduce the early marriage below 18 years. Even they don't have a law, they are restricted to that. And Australia, 1961 Marriage Act, it say less than 18 illegal, but under certain circumstances there can be rape cases and all. When they are 16 years, authorization to a judge or magistrate with the state statutory, they are giving with the parental consent under exceptional circumstances. Then if you see London Girls Summit, July 2014, the government signed the charter committing end child marriage. Iran, under the Civil Code 2007, marriage before the age of majority is prohibited. But even that, however, the age of majority of 9 Lurna years are there. So therefore, underage marriages are there. And also members of Culture Commission, they are trying to give for religious scholars. And in Article 2041 to today, Iran University, one of the female lady to fight her rights fully naked, and thereafter she was arrested. So liberal. Most of the today you see the news. It is coming today. Iranian female university student, 18 or 19 years. She removed all the clothes and walking that to show that I am protesting. One and only female lady gave the leadership. That no one is supporting theirs because of what culture. That is the biggest issue. And also Saudi Arabia is committed to end child marriages, forced marriages 2030. They are going for target. That is 5.3 Sustainable Development Goal, and also submitted voluntary national review. Likewise, Saudi Arabia, they are also a party of the CEDAW. And also India, their constitutional background, protection of children, and also Article 21, child marriages infringe upon the right of self-determination. And also they have a very good law. Sri Lanka, we don't have this. The Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006. Act to provide the prohibition of solemnization of child marriages and for matters connected thereto. So Sri Lanka, this is a good example. And also Section 2 of the Act clearly defined who is a child, and child marriage means marriage of either the contracting parties of a child less than that, and child marriage prohibition officers are there. They are fully authorized. They can go and actually seize the place even. So this law is basically, and punishment very clear. What is the punishment? Less than 18 years. If anyone get married, rigorous imprisonment for more than extend to 2 years. First time suspended sentence, and second time they will give it. Karnataka amended this law and they also put a punishment. Writ petition was there. One of the best case, Society of Enlightenment and Voluntary Action and others. In this, the Supreme Court of India, they gave certain guidelines, and the Prohibition of Child Marriage Amending Bill 2021, it also showing Parliament in December 21 referred to examination of department related standing committees for their education, women, children, youth and sport. The bills out to PCMA. The Supreme Court judgment of this very highly entitled for the policymakers, legislators and societal change, eradicate the harmful practice and protect their children in India. Very powerful. This judgment, significant step towards one of the best we can follow if we can. Sri Lanka, under the English Common Law, as well as 1907 Marriage Ordinance, 1952 Canadian Marriage and Divorce Act, age is 18. Less than 18, it is illegal. And 1995 General Law increased the minimum age of 18 years of all citizens except Muslims. The MMDA does not stipulate the age of marriage. So this is where we have to target. Contrary popular belief, minimum age that the Muslim girl or boy can get married under MMDA not 12 years. Section 23 say a girl below 12 can be given marriage with the authorization of a quasi-judge. Hence the minimum age of marriage Sri Lanka Muslim is technically 0. That is a cultural effect, right? So Section 23, marriage of girls who has not attained the age 12, not been registered with quasi-permission. And also this is one of the best case in Gunaratnam versus Registrar General 2002 in this Court of Appeal held. So therefore the minimum age of marriage of Sri Lanka all citizens except Muslims stands for 18 years without any exception. So this is where the personal law, Holy Al-Quran. And also report of the advisory committee appointed proposal reform Muslim personal 2021. See the page number 8081. It's clearly say the cabinet ministers has decided that the minimum age of marriage of both parties be 18 years. According to appropriate section should be incorporated to the MMDA Act, but Muslim MPs are divided. There is no unity in them. So the proposal clash 1978 Constitution. So thank you very much. Listen to this speech. Okay.